Hey folks, Scott Walters here. Welcome back to the Bulletproof Garage in episode 4 of Project Brutus. Okay, first and foremost, no engine content this episode. Why? Because I'm tired of it, all right? I'm tired of trying to source an engine for this truck, and I think I'm just gonna be patient and wait for something to fall in my lap, all right? I think the perfect engine is out there, all right? And we don't need an engine like today. Why? Because we're converting the truck to four-wheel drive, that's why, and it's gonna take some time. Yes, you heard me right. I mean, if it's going to be a Brutus, we might as well make it a Brute. So, front suspension's coming out, and we're gonna replace it with a solid axle, a Dana 60 out of a 1990 F350, all right? So it's a Kingpin style Dana 60, and I'm using a kit from Sky Offroad, that brown Santa, AKA the UPS truck dropped off a few days ago. All right, folks, so it's threatening to rain here, and the garage isn't very weatherproof. So let's get started. Okay, you know what's coming. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride here in the Bulletproof Garage. Okay, folks, so the plan here is to remove the entire front suspension and just roll it out from under the truck. Now, as for how to do that, you can see back by the jack stand there, all right? There's a bolt on each side. I don't know what you call that piece, a torsion beam or something like that. And then you've got to remove the I-beams from the cross member here, and there's a bolt on each side there. The shocks are going to need to come out, and the springs, there's a bolt there that holds a spring in. And then the pitman arm is going to need to be loosened up and removed. So I don't know, what's that, about half a dozen bolts? So I don't want to jinx myself here, but it doesn't look like it's going to be too awful bad. All right, let's get started. Okay, folks, I think we've got it about ready to go. All right, so as you can see down here below, I've got the I-beams disconnected. I've got the pitman arm disconnected. And I don't know what these guys are called here. Torque links, strut rods, whatever. Those are disconnected as well. And I've also got the shocks disconnected and the springs disconnected. So, in theory, I should be able to lift up the front end and walk the front suspension out. Let's see if that works. Well, it wasn't very graceful, but it's done. Oh. Okay, folks, time to open some boxes from Sky's Off-Road Design. So they're in Oregon, and their website, I believe, is skysoffroaddesign.com. All right, check them out. They have good stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and get it opened up and see what we've got here. All right. Okay, yep. These are the shocks. I went ahead and went with Bilstein's. I've had a lot of luck with Bilstein's over the years. So let's see if there's anything else in here. Okay, some stickers for the bumper. All right, just 4 shocks in this box. All right, now for the big box. All right, put it right. Okay, let's go ahead and open these up and see what we get. Everything should be black powder coated. I think I paid a little extra for that. And kudos to the folks at Sky's. This is really well packaged. All right, one nice spring shackle. Ah, that's pretty. All right, that's my adjustable panhard bar. Oh, yeah, another shackle. Yeah, nice. All right, that looks like a bracket that's going to bolt onto the frame. And another frame bracket. All right, more brackets. All right, this is the hardware. I'm not going to do this right now, but tell you what, I'm impressed with the quality. The welds are really nice. The parts look really nice. Let's hope they fit as well as they look, huh? Okay, folks, a few notes before we get started. First, if you look at the driver's side frame horn here, it's tweaked, all right? This guy here, what it looks like is maybe the truck got stuck and somebody tried to pull it out sideways. That's going to cause me some problems when I'm bolting up that leaf spring hanger up front. So let's see what else. Obviously, you know, this is filthy, and just not a huge fan of working on filthy trucks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend a few hours cleaning stuff up, and I'd like to get a coat of paint at least on the frame. Let's see what else. The mounts right here for the core support, they actually look like they're just riveted on. You see these rivets right here? So there's 3 rivets, so I could probably grind the heads off of those rivets and source some replacements instead of just having to weld this up here where it's routed out. All right, time to get started. Gonna be fun. it's another one. I'm going to pull the inner fenders so I've got better access to the frame. Much better access now. Okay, time for the other inner fender, and then it's time for a cerveza. Oops. Okay, now I can see what I'm working on. All right, folks, time for some fun. We're going to get a little kinetic here and remove some suspension brackets from the truck. This is two-wheel drive specific stuff that we won't need now that we're swapping to 4x4. All right, let's take a closer look. Okay, we've got two brackets that need to come out. This guy right here is the coil spring tower, and it's got 6 rivets on it. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 rivets here, then you got 2 underneath. And then you've got this bracket right here. Again, two-wheel drive specific stuff. That was what the torque arm or whatever it's called was connected to. So that's got a bolt, and I want to say it's got 3 rivets as well. So I've already done the other side, and it was a lot of fun, but time to get after this one. All right, first thing I've got to move some of this crud out of the way so I can see where the rivets are. All right, now using the cutoff wheel, I'm going to go ahead and slice the rivets up fairly well before I get after them with the chisel. All right, as you can see, I just made some vertical cuts, and that'll make it easier to get after this with the chisel. All right, the chisel made short work of those. Now we're going to put the grinder wheel on and dress them up a little bit. All right, now it's time to drive the rivets out. All right. And there it is. Just held on by a brake line at this point. I'm going to change the brake lines anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and snip it. This side had one bolt here and one rivet here. So the other side had two rivets on the bottom. All right, into the scrap bin. Okay folks, as you can see, we have got the coil spring towers and the suspension arm brackets off of both sides. All right. One thing I did want to point out to you is that that last bracket that I got off, this guy right here, the suspension arm bracket, I was able just to use the air hammer with the chisel on it just to cut the tops of those rivets off. That made it a lot easier and a lot quicker. And this particular air hammer had a little bit more power than the one I was using yesterday. The one I was using yesterday was new, but I killed it after only about 15 minutes worth of use. This guy here is nothing special. My good air hammer is back home in Texas, but I just picked this one up at Harbor Freight. It cost like 16 bucks and change. So it worked today. I don't know how long it's going to last, but it did earn its keep today. All right. Glad to have that job done. All right, folks, that's it for episode 4. Be sure and tune in to episode 5 when we continue to work on the suspension. And I hope to have this thing rolling again soon, mobile and agile. All right. Now, one note, it'll be a few weeks before I can get the next video up. It's summertime and it's vacation time, so I'll be off with the family. But as soon as I get back, this is going to be my first order of business, all right? So see y'all next time in the Bulletproof Garage.